2.
Hey everyone, Cheoff Geoff here, and welcome to my kitchen. Just before I get started here, I just want to remind everybody to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I'm going to be posting the recipe below in the dialog box. But if you got any other questions, leave it in the comment section, and off we go. So today, we're going to be making cod cakes, and I got to be honest with you, this is a recipe I haven't exactly made before. But you know what? If you want to think like a chef, you just got to really trust your instincts and, you know, have faith that we're going to make this work. And you know what? We're going to see how it goes. So first off, got some beautiful cod that came in from Newfoundland, and it's just perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you guys how to poach fish. We're going to get a really good citrus flavor in there, and off we go. So this is a Belgian Weiss beer. We're going to drop that in the pan, throw in all of our cod. There we go. Some orange juice. Some chili flakes. And we're going to squeeze in some lemon. So I got this on pretty high right now, and this is literally my favorite way to cook fish. When you're poaching fish, instead of like roasting it or searing it or grilling it or whatever it is, all those other options, when you're poaching, you're really locking in moisture. So what this is going to do is you're going to get some really good beer flavor in with the fish. You're going to get that citrus notes that really go along with the Weiss beer. We're going to get a little bit of heat. And it should take, I don't know, let's go with about 5 minutes. And the whole idea, the whole process for poaching fish is you want to bring it to a boil, you want it to simmer, then you shut it off about 2-3 minutes in and let the residual heat finish the cooking process. But in the meantime, while we're doing all this, we're going to make the cod cake mixture. So if you remember from my last cooking show, I had mashed potatoes, smashed potatoes. So what I've got in here is the leftover smashed potatoes. It's probably about 2 cups worth. I've got some fine diced red onion in there. You know, the French folks like to call it brunoise, but I can't pronounce that properly. So we're gonna throw in 1 egg. And this is just a little spice blend and we got some Cajun spice, we got some nutmeg, some marjoram, and celery salt. We're going to throw that in there as well. A couple of shakes of Belgian heat. This is the best hot sauce ever. Okay. Just like I don't know, teaspoon of Dijon. Okay, good stuff. And this baby right here is one of your really, really important kitchen utensils, kitchen equipment. It's a little dirty, but we're just going to roll with it. It's a microplane. What this does is it gives you really, really precise slices of whatever you're using. I'm not sure if I explained that right, but let's go with it. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a cheese grater or a box grater and just grate your ingredients in. So this is some peeled ginger. And we're just going to put a little bit of pressure in there, and we're just going to grate in the ginger. Oh yeah. So what this is going to do is going to give it just a little bit of bite, which is great. I don't have any fresh herbs, which is a shame. I would have preferred to have some parsley in there or some dill. But you gotta work with what you got, my friends. Great. I'm just gonna check on our fish. So this thing's already coming to a boil. I'm gonna turn it right down. Use my trusty fish spatula. I talked to you guys about it before. A really, really important piece of equipment in the kitchen. It allows you to have a little more finesse when you're working with something that is, you know, flaky like fish. Got this thing flipped over. There we go. We'll let that boil for a moment, and then I'm going to shut her off. Okay, next up, we're just going to zest in some lemon. And again, if you don't have the microplane, just use a grater. So this is going to give it a little fresh, some fresh citrus notes in there. It's going to taste great. You can already really smell the freshness of the lemon really coming through there. You always get little bits kind of stuck in here, so let's get that in there. All right, turn the heat off of the fish. We're just gonna let the residual heat finish it. And I'm just gonna take a spoon and mix this stuff up. So the truth is I have been in Newfoundland and I have been screeched in, and I chose not to kiss that cod because I think I've done enough cod kissing in my life. And I gotta tell you, the one time when I think it was a Christmas like 4 or 5 years ago, I just imbibed far too much screech at Frank and Pat's place, and oh boy. But anyway, so we got our mixture in here. Shout out to you guys are the best. We're gonna add in, oops, here we go. A couple tablespoons of panko. If you don't have panko, no big deal. Just throw in all-purpose flour. You can also use gluten-free flour as well. And what you're trying to do is get just a bit of a dry mixture. You got a lot of wet ingredients in here. There we go. All right, so we're just gonna check these this fish here. All right. Just gonna check if she's all done. So cod is a really nice flaky fish. And once you start seeing the flakes all disappear and everything like that, you're pretty much good to go. So I'm just gonna line this up here. There we have it. All right, I'm gonna need you later. All right, great. And we're just gonna let this thing cool down for just a moment, and when I get back, we'll go through a really classical breading technique and a searing technique. All right, friends, we're back here. We got some nicely poached fish. We're just gonna be flaking this into our mixture. So I was testing it just while these were cooling, and I think it needs a touch more of panko. So I put about 3 tablespoons in. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. But this fish will just break right up, and the more we, I'm just gonna keep adding a touch more. Let's just see, I think that's probably good. Also forgot to add garlic, and that's just a cardinal sin, so off we go. All of our fish goes in. There we go. Perfect. We're gonna season with a touch of salt and pepper, as per usual. Whoa. All right. We're gonna mix this baby up. Add a touch more of the panko. And now we're just gonna make this mixture. We have all our binders in. We've got a little bit of egg. We have our spice blend. We've got the ginger and all those other delicious things. And again, if you want to think like a chef, all I'm doing right now is pulling off of my own experience from other things. I've made crab cakes before. I've made other things before. So let's just hope the stuff turns out proper. Perfect. All right, it's still a little wet. All right, let's just get a touch more panko in. Perfect. Okay, we're just gonna form these into little cakes. And this is a really classical breading technique. Okay, we got flour, egg wash, and a little more panko. In the meantime, I have my cast iron, my trusty cast iron, heating up. I'm gonna bring it up to a bit of a high temperature to get a nice sear. But in the meantime, let's get these, so you just go a little bit of flour, dredge in the egg wash. Well, and I always forget, you always gotta have one hand wet, one hand dry, but too late. All right. Let's get one more made here. Perfect. All right. Last one. Got super dirty hands, but that's all right. Okay, super rustic. I'm gonna give my hands a little rinse here. We're gonna go over to the stove. I'm gonna crank up the heat on my my old cast iron. We're gonna add just a touch of oil. There we go. I always like to season the pan. Drop that in. There we go. Got a little sizzle going. Let's get a little heat. Perfect. Work that oil in. There we go. The sizzle, literally my favorite sound, and you can already smell all the ingredients kind of coming up as it cooks. You can get that ginger smell, you got the citrus notes coming through, and just that lovely poached fish smell. All right. So next up, we're gonna make our sauce. Great, clean as you go, guys, clean as you go. So we're gonna make chimichurri aioli. So if you guys remember from one of my other recipes, we have some chimichurri here. And literally all we're gonna do is, I got about 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, and we're just gonna add some chimichurri to it, give it some color, a little flavor. How are these guys doing? They're looking good. You can just smell the freshness of that chimichurri too. One more. Great. Just gonna check the old fish here, see how we're doing. Oh yeah, all right, turn that baby down. Okay, we're still getting a nice sear. Perfect. Just gonna set up my plate. Like so. Love this teardrop. So we're just gonna do a little smear. There we go. That's how that's done. I have a feeling these might take a little bit longer than I hoped, but we'll see. Turn up the heat a little bit. Well, so far so good. I was worried that maybe the mixture was a little too wet, or you know or I had the pan too high. Well, I'm just like moving this thing around. But so far so good. And again, with these cast iron pans, they can get so hot so fast. So you really got to figure out how to regulate your heat properly. But these will take another 2-3 minutes. So I think we'll come back real quick, and when they're ready to go, we're gonna plate. All right, so we got our seared crab cake, or sorry, not crab, cod cakes. And this is the chimichurri aioli. We're just gonna line these up, just like so. There you have it, friends. Fresh made cod cakes from Chef Geoff's kitchen. Cheers.